I picked up a few Camille Rose products from my local Target. I thought I'd give them a try, and that is what today's video is all about. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm a licensed hairstylist with over 20 years of experience, and on this channel I use those 20 years of experience to help you have healthy, happy hair. So like I showed you in the intro, I'm going to be trying the Camille Rose products. I have already washed my hair. I did not get any shampoo or conditioner from Camille Rose. Part of the reason why I typically try stylers only from a lot of brands is just because, and I've mentioned this in a couple of videos before, that for the most part with shampoos and conditioners, as long as the shampoo gets my hair clean and doesn't make it feel stripped, I'm good with it. As long as the conditioner, you know, it makes my hair feel nice and hydrated and soft, and you know, doesn't really weigh it down or anything like that. Like I'm good with that too. And it really takes a lot to impress me as far as shampoos and conditioners go. Whereas stylers, I feel like, are more of a wild card and can do a little bit more for my hair than the washing part of it, because I do have some really good shampoos and conditioners that I currently love, and it does take a lot to kind of knock them off their pedestals for me. So I don't always try shampoos and conditioners, and that's why. But I will be trying the stylers, and I've already used the Curl Love Moisture Milk. This is their leave-in, and it's called a softening leave-in, and it's got rice milk and macadamia oil in it. And I already put that in the shower after I finish washing and conditioning my hair. I typically put my leave-ins in the shower just because I find that they distribute better when my hair is really wet from the shower. Plus then I brush it through, and then I will also rinse. I will put my hair up like it is now and rinse it off of my body so I don't have any leave-in left on my skin, so I don't develop any acne in places I'd rather not have acne. Not that I want it anywhere, but anyway, so I already did that. I put this in, and I'm glad that I put it in the shower because this stuff is actually pretty thick. I'll see if you can kind of see, like it's stuck to the top up there. But yeah, this stuff is, try to get a small amount out, and you can see it's really thick. Like it kept the shape of the little opening there. It stayed in this kind of square shape almost. So I'll just put that little bit in there. Not gonna hurt anything. Don't want to waste any. So I already put that in there, and I really like the feeling that it gave me. It gave me a lot of slip, and my hair is feeling pretty good and hydrated, and yeah. So I am liking that so far, and I'm just going to, my hair is still really wet from the shower, which is good. All right, so I've just brushed through my hair and sectioned it off. My hair was already pretty well detangled from in the shower when I detangled it, both with conditioner on, and then after I put the leave-in, I did a brush through then too. So it really wasn't tangly or anything, but I went and brushed it through, and now I have it sectioned like I typically do when I do my hair. I do the bottom section from ear to ear, then I do this neck section, and then the top, and then I use my brush to style. So now that I have this all sectioned off, I'm gonna go ahead and start applying the Aloe Whipped Butter Gel. And it's also got aloe vera and macadamia. And I know from experience with some other products, my hair seems to do really well with aloe vera, so I'm really interested in how this is gonna go. And I'm gonna put it in section by section by section, and then brush my hair like I typically do. And this stuff is thick. Like, look at that. I like that. I like when products are really thick. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of this, about that much, just to get started with. We'll be doing a video on how much styling product to do and giving you guidelines as to where to start and how much product you need. And it's gonna cover kind of all the bases with density, with your hair texture, so fine versus coarse, and then also go into the different types of products and how the amount that you need for each type of product can be very different. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into that on a video that's coming out soon. So now that I've applied that butter to my hair, which by the way smells really good. Can't really put my finger on what it smells like. There's maybe a little bit of vanilla, kind of like baked goods, something baked. I don't know. It smells really good though. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do my typical brushing routine where I take my section, my vertical section, try to get some of my other hair out of the way, and brush it down. And I will just do this all the way around for this section and going all the way up. This takes a really long time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the rest of it off camera. I do have other videos where I show this more in depth with how I do this. I think like my video where I did how to do volume and definition, that one probably has more of this process on there, so I will go ahead and put that in as like a card up here so that you can check that out. But otherwise, I am going to see you once this is all applied and brushed, and then come back to put the gel in, because I also have this curl maker gel in here. So I will go ahead and come back and put that in on camera for you, then diffuse it, and as always I will show you my day 2 and my day 3 results so you can see how long these products held up and what my hair looked like. So I will be back. I am done applying the whipped butter and I really like that so far. My hair is nicely defined and clumped and is looking pretty good. I actually feel like this probably has a little bit of hold to it, so that's good. However, that being said, I'm still going to combine it with the gel just because I typically like to layer my products and I like stuff that has a little bit more hold to it, just because that is my preference and because my hair is on the coarse side and it's thick, it's a bit robust, so lighter hold products generally tend not to work so well for me. So I am going to go ahead and put the gel in, and it's got this pump, so we'll see if I can do this without making a huge mess. Okay, and that is a pretty thick product. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not running too fast. But I think, yeah, once you emulsify it in between your hands, it does feel like it's going to spread pretty easily, which it does, so this is good. So I'm just going to do, so that's an interesting smell. Kind of fruity, kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm smelling. But it definitely hit my nose all at once. So anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and smooth it over and then kind of gently scrunch it into the ends. When I do this, I'm not really scrunching, I'm more like cupping very gently, just to get the ends coated and not really to scrunch it aggressively or anything like that. And now I'll put the same amount on the other side. And just run it over. And gently scrunch and cup. Yeah, that is a very interesting smell. I'm not, like I said, I really can't place what that smell is, but I don't hate it. I can't say that I love it. I liked the smell of the butter better. Like, the butter smelled really good, and I really, really liked the consistency of it. So this is usually my trouble spot. I'm gonna put just a little bit more there. And I know I'm off camera here, but put a little bit there. Okay, so now that I have all of the gel in and applied, I'm gonna go ahead and diffuse, and then I'll be right back to show you the result. Here is my hair all diffused and dry and ready for the crunch to be scrunched out, and there's definitely a cast to this. So that's good because I really like gels that have a cast, and it looks like it held up pretty well to the diffusing process, likely because of the cast. So I'm gonna use my Verb Ghost Oil and do my typical applying it over my hair and just smoothing it over, and then scrunching out the crunch. And I'll show you what that looks like after I've scrunched it all out. This is the crunch all scrunched out, and as you can see, I've got some really nice defined curls, very little frizz. Yeah, really nicely defined. This is a good strong holding gel. It's actually kind of hard to get some of the cast out. I think in the ends I might have put just a tad bit too much product on the ends because some of my ends are holding onto the cast a little bit longer, but that's okay because tomorrow after I've slept on it, then that'll be gone and it'll look a lot better. And there's not a whole lot of volume with this because it is more defining. I think maybe you could get a little bit more volume if you used just the gel or just the butter. Like, I think most of what's pulling it down is the combination of the butter and the gel. The butter is definitely heavier. I don't mind that. I like my hair nicely clumped and defined, and I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay with not a whole lot of volume here. And just because my hair, I have a lot of hair, so even when my hair doesn't have a lot of volume, it still doesn't look completely flat or without volume. It's kind of voluminous almost by default just because of the sheer amount of it. So I don't hate this at all. Like, I really, really like the shine. I like the definition. I think this is a gel that's probably gonna hold up really well over the next couple of days. And actually, because of the frizz that I'll kind of develop overnight when I'm sleeping on it, that'll help give me a little bit more volume on day 2 and day 3. And so this is only gonna start looking better, I think, just because of the really nice defined and just really, you know, shiny, defined looking curls that are, for the most part, minimal frizz or frizz free. I do think this is probably going to hold up really well and actually even look better on day 2 and day 3 when some more of this cast comes out. Like, I can feel it in some spots. I probably could have scrunched it a little bit more to get more of that cast out, but I'm not too worried about it. In fact, a lot of times I actually prefer to sleep with the cast in my hair and then wake up the next day and scrunch out whatever is left, because I find that I get better day 2 and day 3 hair when I do that, especially day 2 hair, because, you know, that cast will help hold it in place and help keep the frizz down while I'm sleeping. So then I wake up in the morning, and then after I've been sleeping on it, that's kind of helped get rid of some of the cast, so I don't have as much to scrunch out the next morning. So I'm totally fine with a little bit of cast left in my hair. So I will leave whatever's left in there, but yeah, I'm liking the results so far. I'm liking the definition, the shine, and the curls that I've gotten. They seem to be enhanced, and I had some good clumps when I used the whipped butter. The gel is definitely a good hard hold gel. So this is definitely something that I will probably continue to use going into the future and playing around with it a little bit more. So all of that being said, with as much as I like these, I do think that they might be a little bit much for finer hair. The leave-in was thick. The butter is very thick. Those, if you have fine hair, I'm not saying you can't use them, but you might want to use them very sparingly. And even the gel on its own, if you don't use it with the other stuff, that could potentially weigh your hair down. And again, I would use a lot less of that just to keep from weighing your hair down. But if you have hair that isn't easily weighed down, or you don't mind it being a little less voluminous, and you want something that's more defined and clumped and, you know, shiny, and you're not worried about the volume because your preference is towards, you know, the really defined curls, then this is, you know, so these are good products for you to try. I don't think that my hair feels really weighed down, but it's not as light and fluffy and airy as some other products that I've tried. And it is a little bit on the heavier side. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and just leave it at this for day 1, and I will be back to show you my day 2 hair tomorrow. All All right, so we are looking at day 2 hair, and as suspected, it's holding up pretty good. There is a little bit more volume because there's a little bit more frizz, and I'll let you take a look close up. You can kind of see when it's against the light background what the frizz situation is, but you can also see that I've got some nice defined clumped curls, and they keep trying to like coil themselves into some pretty big clumps all along here, which tends to happen with stuff that is really good at causing definition and does that clumping. Then it tends to make some really, really big clumps. So I just break them apart or leave them as is, or I'll shake my hair to get a little bit more fluff and volume out of this. So I'll probably do that right now just to see what, and of course this is going to cause a little bit more frizz, but I'm not too worried about it. I try not to get too bent out of shape over frizz, especially on day 2 and day 3. It's kind of a given, and it does help give a little bit of volume. And this combination definitely didn't give me a lot of volume, as I mentioned on wash day. And that's kind of the trade-off usually. If you've got something that gives you a lot of definition and clumping, you're usually not going to get a whole lot of volume out of it, and vice versa. So, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Like I said, my day 2 frizz is kind of helping breathe some life into it. It's not too stuck to my head, so I'm okay with that. And I'll show you the back. And that is the back. And so far I am liking my day 2 results. I really like some of these. I mean, look at those juicy ringlets. Yeah, they're really big clumps and stuff, but I'm kind of liking some of that, so I'm okay with that. And I do have some of these weird little things sticking out a little bit. I could just hit it with a little bit of steam, and I probably won't do that today, but I might do that tomorrow just to see what that does. Depending on what my day 2 or what my hair looks like tomorrow, I might hit it with a little bit of steam. I am going to make a refresh video, so if I do hit it with a little bit of steam tomorrow, it probably won't be part of tomorrow's clip. It'll be in my refreshing video. There's 2 ways that I typically refresh my hair. Using steam is one of them, and I'll do that on day 1 or day 2 or day 3 hair. After that, I find it's not nearly as effective because usually by day 4 and 5, my hair needs a little bit more help than that. Plus, I do usually wash my hair every 3 to 5 days. So by the time I get to day 4 or day 5, I might just throw it up in a ponytail or just put the front back and, you know, call it good and hide some of the craziness that's usually on the top layer, the frizz and some of the stretched out curls and the, you know, the weird things that stick out. It's just my preference to do an updo or half updo or something like that as opposed to refreshing, but occasionally I do refresh. So I will show you those 2 ways that I refresh in that video coming up. But otherwise, as far as my thoughts on the products, you know, I'm liking it. My hair it doesn't feel stiff. It doesn't feel crunchy. It feels pretty soft still, nicely hydrated. So yeah, I mean, so far the products are holding up really well. I've seen better looking day 2s and I've seen worse looking day 2s. So all in all, this isn't a very bad one. And this is something that I can definitely work with. So I will be back on day 3 and show you what it looks like then. Hello, day 3 hair. So, it's not as good as I had predicted or hoped that it would be. I do still have, you know, some pretty nice defined curls and ringlets here and there. But I also have a little bit more frizz, or a lot more frizz, and some straighter bits, and some of the curls got crushed in some spot. So this isn't looking as good as I would like it to look for day 3 hair. I've definitely had much better day 3 hair. I've had worse day 3 hair, but I've definitely had better. So, I mean, for the most part, it's mostly held up, but there are some weird spots. I would say this is something that I would probably hit with a little bit of steam. But as far as for how things go today or how things look today and the products that I've used, I do really like them. My hair really likes protein. So I think one of the struggles that my hair is having right now and why it didn't hold up nearly as well, even though it was a really good hard hold gel and the aloe butter really did give me some nice clumps and definition, I think the problem is that I'm lacking some protein, which my hair really needs. I did use a shampoo and conditioner that have protein in them, but the products themselves are very moisturizing, and I think that probably wasn't enough to counteract those products. And especially because I used all three of them, I think I probably could have just used either this or this, but not both. This one has a little bit of hold to it. This one does not, it's just a leave-in, but I really don't think that I needed both of these. Maybe a leave-in with some protein or a curl cream with some protein with this leave-in and the gel. I did like the gel. I like that it formed a cast. I like that it had some good hold. I just really think that I need some protein in my styling lineup here. I did really, out of all of them, I think this is probably my favorite. I just really like the consistency and the smell of this. Like, I really like products like that. Like, I love that. And I really liked what it did for my hair. I felt like this was nicely hydrating, and like I said, it did the clumping and the definition, which was really good. Small amount of hold, not enough for me to ever use this as a standalone product. However, I do really, really like this a lot. This is just the type of thing that I really love. I will still keep playing around with these products. I do really like them. I like all three of them individually. Together, I need to figure out what combination is going to work best, or try to find a way to inject some protein in there in order to get it work for my hair. Now, if you have fine hair, I would be cautious with these products. These products did not give me a whole lot of volume. They didn't really weigh my hair down, just because my hair is coarse and it is really hard to weigh it down. However, if you have really fine hair that's really easily weighed down, I would really be careful with these products. Definitely don't use these two together. I think that's just a little bit much for fine hair. Even this is pretty heavy for fine hair, and this on its own is pretty heavy for fine hair. Like, I'd be really worried with those two. So they would not be my first recommendation for fine hair. Now, the Curl Maker Gel, I think you could probably use this. And in fact, the next time I use this, just because it is so thick, I'm gonna do what I typically do with thicker gels, is mix it with a little bit of water to help it distribute a little bit better. I think I'd probably get a little bit better results that way, and I think that that would work really well for fine hair too, or to put it on very, very wet, almost dripping wet hair to kind of help dilute it just a little bit and allow it to distribute a little bit better. Because this is a really concentrated gel is what I found. So you really don't need a whole lot of it. And it does have a really good hold. It develops a cast, so that's great. So I do like all of these. Like, my hair feels pretty good. It does not feel producty. It doesn't feel, you know, heavy. Like I said, it doesn't have a whole lot of volume. It doesn't feel light and fluffy, but it also doesn't feel heavy or really super weighed down. And it feels soft. So I like the feel of these products. I like that they gave me the nice definition and the clumping and the shine. So overall, they're really good products. I just need to play around with them a little bit more and determine how they're going to work best for me and my hair and what it is that I'm going for. So that concludes my review and recommendations regarding these products. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you like this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell while you're at it. Also, if there's any questions that you have, any comments, or anything that you would like to see in particular, then please go ahead and leave me a comment down below in my comment section. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye.